like 3 months ago, and I don't remember dick from that.
Anyways, we're recording.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third episode of the 217 Horror Podcast. As always, I am the Jameus, and I am joined by Miss Ashley Rose of Death Arts 13. Be sure to like, subscribe to the channel. We love having you every single week for not just the 217 Horror Podcast, but for all our content. A lot of it's music based, so if you like music, again, like, subscribe. Ashley, how are you doing tonight?
I'm okay. Jameus, you want to tell people that you joined Slasher finally?
Okay, so this week she finally convinced me to join Slasher. And I have to say, who the hell decided we needed a goth Facebook?
Well, it's based more about horror and film.
Right, but
But
it
isn't it
leans
lovely?
So it's interesting. I didn't realize that it was very much you have to add people to see their post. And I didn't realize everybody on the app would add you the moment you joined. And my phone blew up with a bunch of people I've never heard of. Seemingly, from what I've gathered, nice people. And people I am happy to welcome to the 217 Horror family. But it just was not what I was anticipating.
Yeah, but isn't it fun though? Like,
I don't really know what I expected.
Isn't it fun though? Like, it gives you film choices, it gives you book choices. We're not sponsored by Slasher TV, but I just thought we would enjoy it.
I saw that they had a podcast section that you can get your podcast on, and we should do that.
Yeah, we probably can. We got the numbers, so I think we can do it.
Probably something we should discuss behind the scenes, not in front of them, but we should do that.
We could try. We can't make any guarantees.
It's an interesting week for me with horror because, assuming this airs at our normal time on Sunday evening,
it will.
At the time this is airing, I will be on probably my third trip through the Bray Wyatt house at Halloween Horror Nights Orlando this weekend. So I would say if you see me there, say hi, but by the time this airs, it'll be almost over.
That's right. You're leaving Friday or Saturday?
Saturday morning.
You're leaving Saturday morning. Yeah.
The Friday night I am seeing
air on Sunday.
The Friday night I am seeing him.
Oh shit! Tell me how that is. And not him to be confused with Carmelo Hayes.
Of course. Mello don't miss, but judging by the reviews, this movie did.
Oh shit! That was one of the most kind of looking forward to going.
So I'm tentatively excited. I was telling somebody this before we went on air. I'm still tentatively excited for this movie, and by the time this airs, I'll have already seen it. And because we're recording 2 episodes back to back this time, we are doing a show week after next. After the show we're doing week after next will be before I've seen it as well. So my review will be 2 weeks from now. But I was telling somebody before I came on air because they asked me what my thoughts on it getting horrible reviews is. And I said that the substance, sinners, weapons, stuff like that, is the exception, not the rule. Horror movies tend to get more middling reviews even for good movies. So You're going to say something?
I was going to wait for you to finish your thought.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's kind of similar to revert back to our previous episode that we talked about Guillermo del Toro's reviews.
I found Guillermo del Toro's reviews to be more positive than negative, even though they're both middling. Guillermo del Toro's just more, this is beautiful to look at. It's just how much is there to be beyond the surface, whereas this doesn't seem to have either going in its favor. But horror movies tend to be more middle of the road reviews, even for good ones, because they're very much a niche genre of movie, much like comedy. Horror is there's a thin line between horror and comedy in terms of how you make one. You can get away with being more out there with those kinds of movies as long as you either frighten people or make them laugh. So those two genres seem to be both critically panned more than praised and critic proof than the average genre. I was telling somebody that beforehand, but I also feel like I very much am excited for him because I like the idea of a movie exploring CTE in football. I think why is somebody willing to go through something so detrimental to their health and their livelihood? What makes them want to do that? I think that's a fascinating thing to explore. So I'm still tentatively excited for it because I really like the concept.
Mm-hmm.
But the marketing on this movie has done two things that makes me think this movie ain't good. Sight unseen. I don't know if it's good. Just because other people don't like it doesn't mean I won't love it. Doesn't mean you won't love it. Doesn't mean you should judge a movie by another person's opinion. Even if you end up agreeing with me, I don't think you should judge a movie because of how I feel about the movie. I think you should have your own opinion. That's the beauty of art forms is the subjectivity. But there's two things that are red flags to me. One,
okay. That they named it him after Carmelo Hayes.
No.
I'm sorry. Every time I saw the preview and I saw like the gold him, that was automatically what I thought of.
Mello don't miss, baby. We are Carmelo Hayes stans on this show. If you have been following the two of us for years, you remember we used to talk about Carmelo Hayes a lot back in the We Talk Indies days. Like, got nothing against Mello.
He don't miss, and he was just on NXT not that long ago. But we're not going to talk wrestling. But that's all I kept thinking every time I saw the preview to him.
Especially since I'm not watching the product right now. We're not talking wrestling.
Yeah, well, when I saw like the font of it, that's
right.
all
It's very much just font. The first red flag in the marketing is everything that they do with the marketing is to make you think it's a Jordan Peele movie. The average person loves Jordan Peele right now. Speaking of comedy and horror, that's a guy who can create such an atmospheric horror movie. The Get Outs, the Nopes, which one am I missing? I'm missing a big one.
Mama?
Us. I'm thinking of the ones he directed.
Oh, okay. News-wise,
he can create such an atmospheric horror movie.
I might be wrong, but news-wise, like we were talking about reboots, I think that's who's doing Sleepaway Camp. I could be wrong though.
Interesting. I love Jordan Peele. I think Us and Get Out are two of the best movies of the last 10 years. The issue is he produces a lot of movies, and the way they're marketing him producing this movie is designed entirely to get you to think he directed this movie. There's a lot of deception in its marketing. The second thing is the review embargo didn't drop until yesterday at 8 p.m. when they had their first general audience showings. And a great example about how review embargoes work right now is one battle after another. Another movie that's coming out. Not coming out the review embargo dropped 2 weeks before it hits theaters. And the reviews are excellent. The Sinners review embargo dropped 2 weeks before it hit theaters. It is excellent. The review, it's not a 100% ratio of short window review embargo bad, good long window review embargo good, but it tells you how much confidence the studio has in the reviews being good and the word of mouth picking up. So those two things in its marketing tells me they don't think the filmmaker made a good film. That doesn't mean I'm going to hate it. That doesn't mean it's bad. That doesn't mean I should formulate my opinion based on what some studio head suit who has never been the average consumer thinks. But it does give me a little bit of a pause. So I'll be seeing that tomorrow night, at the time of this recording tomorrow night. And then Sunday I will be at Halloween Horror Nights. So I have a good weekend of horror coming up.
And the reason why we're doing 2 shows is because the week after I will be seeing Blitz Kid in Nimvent Live and Chicago. So that will be the week after, and that's why.
Don't we have a Blitz Kid video on the channel?
Yes, we do. We also have an interview with Blitz Kid.
Be sure to check that out. And if you like that, again, like and subscribe for more interviews, because we have more in the pipeline. We have more great content going.
We actually have one on hold, an interview that's coming out with Pumpkin Guts.
Fantastic. Be sure to check that out. And today's topic, before we get into that, anything horror related you want to talk about before we get into today's topic?
The fact that you didn't know that Justin Long was the Mac PC guy and then went to Jeepers Creepers.
It's not that I didn't know that.
But in your mind, you compartmentalized him into a Kevin Smith guy.
Okay. So, in my defense,
You're not wrong, though. You're not wrong.
The Get a Mac campaign with Justin Long.
It was like 100 years ago.
I was 5 when that started.
Yeah, it was 100 years ago.
I was 8 when that ended.
Do you want to also talk about... Okay, so the reason why we were talking about Justin Long off camera is because I was telling Jameus that a reboot of Grave Encounters with Justin Long was announced today. I think it was by Bloody Disgusting. I think I just saw that before I came on air. Another thing we discussed was the fact that Jameus did not know there was Crow sequels.
In my defense on that one. So I'm going to defend the Justin Long thing real quick. The reason she doesn't think I know who Justin Long is, which I know who Justin Long is my response to the Grave Encounters news was, isn't it interesting how Justin Long is just a horror guy now because he's been doing a lot of the Kreger stuff? And her response was, he's always been horror. And my brain went, I feel like I first saw him in a bunch of Kevin Smith movies, so he's a comedy guy. Which is how I first saw him. So I know who he is. The
Crow
second thing is, look, I've seen the original Crow movie once. I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite movie of all time, like it seems to be for everybody else. But I didn't dislike it. I think it's a solid horror flick. But I've seen it one time. I saw it when I was maybe 15. And the guy who plays the Crow dies while shooting the movie. So in my brain, why would there be a sequel? So I looked it up, and apparently the sequel, the Crow City of Angels, which, by the way, City of Angels is a Nicolas Cage movie, not a Crow movie.
Jameis' favorite rom-com, by the way. One of them. City of Angels.
That Sally's my favorite rom-com. But what I like about City of Angels, not to go on that tangent, is he becomes an angel for her, and then
he
becomes he gives up being an angel.
Yeah.
He gives up being an angel. That's right. So he gives up being an angel for her, and she dies. So now he's just human without her.
You leave Mr. Plate alone.
I'm sorry?
Mr. Plate.
So what I like about that is it doesn't have a happy ending.
And that's why a lot of people don't like City of Angels, is because there's no happy ending. That's the crazy thing.
Ironically, my favorite rom-com, which you thought was City of Angels, is a different Meg Ryan movie. But I like that I think it helps that it doesn't have a happy ending, which a lot of people, it's the same thing with Message in a Bottle with Robin Penn and Kevin Costner. The people that like it because it didn't have a happy ending. The issue with rom-coms is they all have the happy endings. The best kind of way to get around it is when you have a movie like My Best Friend's Wedding, where Julia Roberts doesn't get the guy, but it still has a happy ending because you're still kind of rooting for Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
But back to The Crow. This movie, this sequel has Thomas Jane and Iggy Pop in its cast.
That's one sequel, Jameus. There's more than one sequel.
I find the combination of Thomas Jane and Iggy Pop in and of itself weird.
Well, interesting thing about The Crow is that the original comic book, the body was actually modeled after Iggy Pop, the drawing.
Oh, that is interesting.
And also, it's technically The Crow, the book, takes place in Detroit, Michigan.
So the third sequel, from what I'm saying, Wicked Prayer,
that is not the third sequel. We don't acknowledge that.
Hold on. This movie has Dennis Hopper and Tito Ortiz.
Don't forget, it also has Edward Furlong.
Why are these casts so random? The second one has Kirsten Dunst. The second sequel?
No. No, the one with Kirsten Dunst is the one with
Salvation co-stars.
Yeah, that's not the second one. So it's The Crow. It's Crow City of Angels. It's Crow Salvation, and then it's Wicked Prayer.
Right, I said the second sequel. The second sequel is what I said.
Oh, I don't know why I thought you meant the second film. Sorry.
No.
So
Walton Goggins is in this movie?
Kristen Dunst is the one with Eric Morbius.
And Walton Goggins, apparently. This is crazy. I'm gonna sit and watch this.
Oh, wait until you get to like Salvation, how bad it is. Like how bad interesting fact.
Can't be worse than the FKA Twigs remake that came out last year.
They're all pretty bad. I think after watching Wicked Prayer, you might like the remake just a little bit more. Interesting fact, you may not know this about me. My favorite B, C, D list actor, for some reason, during that time period, was Eric Morbius.
I barely know who that is.
I always felt that, like, he always did.
That's the guy from Cruel Intentions, right?
He did a list.
That's not Ryan Phillippe.
No, that's not. Eric Morbius was like my favorite BCD actor. He came out in Resident Evil. I first saw him in Crow Salvation, but he was also Welcome in the Dollhouse. He was in Cruel Intentions as well. You are right.
I just looked something up, and there's a movie I see he's in that we've never talked about that I want to know if you've seen. It's not a horror, but it's a horror adjacent thriller.
It is one of my favorite movies is Black Circle Boys.
I was going to say The Minus Man with Owen Wilson and Sheryl Crow.
Nope, never seen it. But
it's on Stars. You should check that out. It's wonderfully weird.
And next horrible movie that I like is Voodoo Moon.
I've never heard of any of these. I'm gonna have to sit and watch them. I love a good bad horror.
They're on Tubi.
Look, if you mention a bad B horror movie, I'm just assuming it's on Tubi.
Yeah, that particular one, Voodoo Moon, I believe was a sci-fi original.
Oh, okay. So people sleep on sci-fi originals. Have you ever watched the TV version of 12 Monkeys?
No.
One of the best sci-fi TV shows ever made, and nobody gave it a shot because it aired on Sci-Fi. I kid you not. One of the best TV shows ever made.
Sci-Fi changed to sci-fi. That's why.
Oh, that was the era where SmackDown aired on it.
They were sci-fi. But yeah, no. One of my like old like crushes from my VCD films was Eric Morbius, particularly for his alternative, semi-adjacent goth grunge look, particularly.
Right. The I don't know what I was gonna say there. So the thing with The Crow is I've seen it once when I was like 15, and I remember liking it, but I also went, so that's the movie Sting is based off of.
Draven.
Because like for me in my brain, The Crow is Sting. Not to go back to pro wrestling,
But I mean, Sting painted his face after The Crow, so yeah, it makes sense.
but that was what her thoughts were heading into today. She asked me, have you seen the Crow sequels? And I've never seen the Crow sequels. I didn't know they existed, which I should have known they existed because every horror movie from the 70s to 90s that had any success whatsoever got a sequel that ended up on the shelf of your local Blockbuster.
Yeah. Well, these were at Blockbuster that you could rent. I remember renting specifically Crow Salvation. I remember particularly renting that one. But yeah, that was my thoughts today. I was like, what are we going to talk about? We don't have a topic. And I kept thinking about man, how bad those Crow sequels are.
I'm trying to think. That's a fun topic for a different show. But what are my favorite?
Watch all of them, and then we're going to come back and rank them.
What are my favorite bad horror sequels? I feel like there's an easy answer that I'm just not thinking of. It'd have to be from the 80s or 90s because that's kind of a thing of the past. I mean,
some Slumber Party Massacre too.
Halloween had a crap ton of those. Leprechaun 2 exists.
Don't forget Leprechaun in the Hood. Leprechaun in Space. Don't forget my favorite line, Full Moon Entertainment with their version of the Reanimator films.
You know what came to mind quicker than it probably should have? So we talk about Sam Raimi horror movies a lot, but what we don't talk about is Sam Raimi superhero movies. He has the Doctor Strange movie. He has the Spider-Man movies. He has his share of successful superhero movies. But his first superhero movie. Do you remember what it was? Starring Liam Neeson and Frances McDormand?
No. I thought it was
Darkman.
Oh, shit. That's right. Darkman. But wasn't Darkman a hit? I heard it was a hit at the time.
It was a decent hit for Neeson. And it was kind of at Neeson's critical peak. Like his commercial peak came 20 years later with Taken, but it was right after Schindler's List. It was right after the movie he did with Meryl.
Schindler's List, what a film.
I don't care that it's not horror. If somebody asked me the most haunting film I've ever seen, it's Schindler's List.
Schindler's List, yeah, I remember the first time I saw Schindler's List. You know what also comes to mind when I think when I hear Schindler's List?
Ray Fiennes' performance. Oh my goodness!
No, that episode of Seinfeld.
You were making out during Schindler's List. Jerry's mom is so great on that show. But Darkman got horror sequels where they replaced Liam Neeson.
It did.
There's a movie called Darkman 3.
There is. I had the DVD box set of Darkman.
Arnold Vosloo plays Darkman.
You know who has horrible sequels too? The Howling after Howling 2.
I've never seen The Howling.
You've never seen The Howling? I'm surprised at you, Jameus.
You know what bad horror movie you need to watch? I mean, genuinely, it's most campy ass horror movie you'll ever see. It's not a sequel, but it's one that you will have all the fun in the world with on Tubi. Fright Club. It's a vampire anthology.
What?
There's a vampire anthology from 2006 that is the single worst movie I've ever seen.
I
And
think
you know what? It
Tubi
rocks.
sponsors as much as we watch Tubi.
I'm sorry?
I said Tubi should sponsor us as much as we watch Tubi.
And there's great horror movies on there. Hidden Gems, Still of the Night with Roy Scheider and Meryl Streep. 70s horror. A lot of great 70s horror on TV. There's a movie called Fright Club.
Remember what
the single most low budget movie I've ever watched.
Remember when I texted you? I was like, Jameus, I think I've seen the worst movie ever.
And see, you say that it's the worst movie ever, but you're talking about Plan 9 from Outer Space and the watch along we did.
Hey, I think Plan 9 was great, but remember when I sent you that text that I said, Jameus, I saw this werewolf movie.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched that yet.
And you were like,
that.
I was all, it's so horrible, man. You're all, I'm intrigued. Tell me what it is.
So, one of the most fun bad horror movies, though. If I told you, I wonder if you've seen this. If I told you Christmas Evil.
Yeah, I've seen Christmas Evil. I think
we watched it together.
We watched it together.
Dude, the scene where the eyebrow makeup falls off and they don't even try to put it back on the guy.
You know, for this Christmas, that should just be our closing or our opening.
We should just do another watch along of Christmas Evil 3 years later.
We can. I don't have a problem with that. We ain't got nothing for the holidays, and I'm off.
We can make fun of the dual beds again.
It was hilarious. We were watching Christmas Evil.
I remember nothing about that movie other than the 5 things we just made fun of and made our personalities for that month.
Oh, the ending just...
The ending with the car and the moon like it's a sleigh. Oh, my goodness.
It was just... And there wasn't even a lot of killing in that movie.
If you don't have a budget and you... I'm sorry?
I said there wasn't even a lot of deaths or killing in that film.
If you don't have a budget and you don't have a cast, then you should have fun and do your best to entertain. And that's what that movie does really well.
Did you hear that they are remaking Anaconda?
I did. Did you see the trailer for it?
Yes, I did.
I would not have put that in our show notes because it doesn't look like a horror movie.
It's a comedy, I'm assuming.
It looks like a very meta, let's make fun of Anaconda.
Which I'm down for.
Especially with Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's always funny.
Yeah. And you have Jack Black in it.
Who I find very hit or miss. Sometimes he's funny, sometimes he's painfully unfunny.
I can understand where you're getting that from. I get it.
But I did see that. I hope they work J-Lo into it somehow. Like the funniest
the opening credits is that part.
One time I'm on a Slipknot show, okay? And I promise this is gonna tie in. I'm on a Slipknot show. First time I ever saw Slipknot, wonderful show. Got front row. I had been waiting with two women that I spent the weekend with for that show. And one of them, attractive, but I wouldn't have said, oh, this girl. I fell in love with this girl, right? The moment, how during concerts.
Your weekend at a Slipknot concert with two women, we get it.
So do you know how at concerts and especially festivals, in between sets, the next band on plays their playlist to hype up the crowd while they set up the show, whatever?
Yeah.
So Corey Taylor's playlist is on. And Baby Got Back comes through the playlist. And this girl went word for word, including the, oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. And I was just like, I was not expecting that. Which is what I think of when I think of Baby Got Back. Is that one person who knew every single word? Because I don't know every single word.
I don't either. I just know.
I just know that Juicy Doubles became a regular in my vernacular.
Sorry, I had to clear my throat for a minute. You know what?
If I'm writing Anaconda and it's this meta movie that it looks more like Tropic Thunder than it does Anaconda, which I'm okay with. I don't want the same movie if you're remaking a movie. I would have it be a movie. I would at the very end and like a post credit have it be the movie that Jennifer Lopez is watching. Like, I think that would be a funny bit.
So, Jameus, I'm gonna let you take it from here. I think we've discussed how you didn't know there was Crow sequels, but I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna let you watch all of them, and we'll rank them, including the reboots. And yeah, you got.
I have 2 weeks to
I hope you can make it through it. I honestly, I hope you can.